the one, the only, Ben Sion. Good afternoon and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, just Daf It. Today we're doing Daf It Gittin, Daf Yud number 12. Started giving Daf Yomi Shirim in the afternoon. After much contemplation, I realized that I like learning Mishnayos and Halacha a lot more than learning the Gemara. And also, when you learn Mishnayos and Halacha, you give that primacy. Then you learn the Gemara a little more Halacha oriented, and hopefully you retain it a little better. So it took me 20 years to realize that. But I did come to this realization, and I'm putting it into action right now. Let's get started. Yud Aleph and Beis on the bottom. So the Gemara says, Amar Rav Chisda, about 6 lines from the bottom. Amar Rav Chisda, Tofes l'balachov makom shechav la'acherim, b'ana l'machlokes re'lezer v'rabbanan. This machlokes that we discussed yesterday, that someone takes something and wants to be zocha, he wants to acquire it on behalf of somebody else, even though it's detrimental to somebody else. It's a machlokes tanoim. Let's say it's a machlokes tanoim. Machlokes re'lezer and the rabbanan. This now we have a mishnah. Mishaliket as a pay of Amar Harezil Ploniani. He sees pay in someone's field, a corner of a field, and he's not a poor person. He wants to take it for a poor person. Lezer Omer Zachar. Lezer says he acquired it for the poor person. The Chacham says it doesn't work. You have to give it to whichever poor person comes first. He gets the pay. Amar Ameimar, V'yitemar of Papa, Dilma Lohi. Maybe that's not true. Top of Yud Beis and Aleph. Ad kan lo kamer Reb Lezer Hasan el the migu di boy mifkalu lenichse v'heviani v'chazile migu di zach lenafshe zachi lechabrei. It's only over there when it comes to matnos haniyim, because technically, even though he's a rich person and his friend is a poor person and he wants to acquire on behalf of his friend who's a poor person, if he wants to, he can just relinquish all his property. He can make it ownerless, and he'll become a poor person, and which he's entitled to. Now I'm entitled to matnos haniyim, to pay. I'm entitled to that. And because I'm entitled to that, so then I could be zocher for somebody else. That would make sense. Halacha over here, when it comes to being told, it's our case in the Mishnah, where, or let's say the standard case, where there's property that needs to, so a person owes a lot of creditors money, and someone wants to take for one of the creditors property of the person, the borrower, so that doesn't work. You could say the other way also. The Rabbanan only said over there doesn't work. It says, the pasuk actually reads a long pasuk. The pasuk says, so the proper reading is for a comma before lani, but a drasha is you join the words together. Lo salakit la'ani. That even for an ani, you shouldn't. The Torah says that you can't be zocha for a poor person. Maybe when a regular case, it would work. Okay, so the Rabbana would use it to say that you can, but Reb Lezer apparently holds, he says the Mishnah and Pei, you could do that. What do they do with the pasuk? The juxtaposition of the pasuk. Tell you another halacha that a poor person can't go into his own field. If he has a field, he's a poor person, but he happens to have a field and he has payah, he can't take his own payah for himself. It sounds like according to the Rabbanan, technically he could. I don't know exactly what the halacha is. With Paskin, these are all heichi timsas. The Gemara is really not sure over here, but it seems to come out from the Gemara, the Mashkan of the Gemara. It's a machlokes tanoim. According to Reb Lezer, you can't take it for yourself. According to the Rabbanan, an ani can take matnos haniyim for himself. So it seems to be coming out from this Gemara. So the Gemara says, Shemir Zashallah Lazon. Continuation of the Mishnah. Shmas Mina, right? One of the arguments in the Mishnah between Rameir and the Rabbanan is the Rabbanan says there's a distinction between a woman and an Eved. By an Eved, you could say if he doesn't want to give nourishment, give food to his Eved, he has the right to do that. Shmas Mina, Yachal Rav Lomer Eved Asi Meveni Zancha. A master, even though normally a master, when he asks his Eved to work for him, he has to supply him with food so he can work. If he wants to, he could forcibly say to the Eved, work for me. I'm not giving you any food. Find it somewhere else. He has the right to choose to do that. He's not obligated to provide food for him. So the Gemara says, the Amar lay say no, our Mishnah is talking in a case where he's saying, instead of me feeding you, whatever profits you earn by whatever cotton you picked in the field, whatever malacha you did in the field, whatever wheat you harvested, so take that for yourself. Take it in lieu of getting fed by me. So, but if he didn't give him that, then he'd be obligated to feed him. So the Gemara says, the kavasa gabi isha, right? We're talking about two cases in the Mishnah. One a woman, one an eved. So you say the same thing by a woman. The Amar he says to the woman, to his wife, right? Basically, I'm not going to feed you. Whatever money you earn from your job, use it to feed yourself. Isha amilo. Why can't you say that to a woman? The Mishnah indicates you can't say it to a woman. The Marsi Isha with lo safka. The woman you can't say it to because she's talking about her income is not sufficient for her provisions, for her needs. She doesn't make enough money, so you can't say that to her. So the Gemara says, if that's true, Eved Nami b'lo safik. That's the similar case by Eved. We're talking about a case where he also does not earn enough in order to adequately nourish himself. So the Gemara says, Abda denom kreisi lo shavi lamar lamar se lamait mitbah. An Eved is worth less than a woman. A woman has value to a man besides the actual avoda, besides the actual work that he does, right? The relationship between a husband and wife is very different than the relationship between a master and an Eved. The master only has the Eved to help him out financially. The wife is there, to be a mother to the children and to be together with him and other, it's a marriage, it's a whole relationship over there. However, an Eved, therefore, a man has to, if the wife's income is not enough to feed herself, he has to provide the rest of it, the husband, because they have a contract, a marriage contract, ksuba. However, there's no ksuba when it comes to an Eved, and therefore, he's not even worth the food that he's given. He's not even worth that. He doesn't have enough. So that's his loss. Tashma, so it's inconclusive. So the Gemara says, Tashma, let's try to bring it to proof. Eved shagal al Ari Mikla, an Eved gets exiled Ari Mikla. He kills someone unintentionally. Ein Rabbo chayav lazuno. His master does not have to go feed him in the Ari Mikla. Whatever he earns in the Ari Mikla, it belongs to his master. How could it be that the Adam does not have to feed him? He doesn't have to feed him, yet he takes his income, whatever he earns. Must be he can say that. He has the right to say that. So where Zakama and the Gemara rejects it. The case is talking about where he basically says, you use your income to pay for your own food. So what does it mean? The Brisa says, that is, the Mishnah says, that whatever his income is, it goes to his Rebbe. He doesn't go to his Rebbe, he goes for him to pay for his own food. So the Gemara is saying the extra money, right? There's basic needs, there's needs and there's wants, right? Whatever the basic needs to sustain himself, that income goes to the Eved. He gets to keep it. The extra money that he earns, just live a luxurious lifestyle, that goes back to the master. The master pshita, it's obvious. Why would the Eved get a luxurious lifestyle? If the Eved was not earning enough money to nourish himself, even adequately, even basic need, right, he wouldn't have to give him. Ki islay, like we said before, avdei nahom kreisa lo shavia. He's not even worth his own food, right? You have rulership over the Eved. Ki islay nami lo lishko. When he has extra money, if he has less, he doesn't get the remainder supplied by the master. So when he makes more, he should get to keep it also. Ki islay nami lo lishko. He shouldn't be able to take it. And kamash malan. He is able to take it from the Eved. Why is it specified a case of Ari Mikla? It could be any case. Why that he was in exile? It says v'chai. The pasuk says that you have to, in the Ari Mikla, they have to treat him in a way that will be able to sustain him, that he should live, right? That the Goal Adam, the avenger, should be able to kill him. So maybe he's entitled to more chiyus, more responsibility to make sure that he lives better. Kamash Malan, no. Even Ari Mikla, no. However, the end of the mission says, a woman, a wife, she kills unintentionally, she goes to Ari Mikla, her husband has to feed her. Michlal, so you see what? It's talking about a case where he didn't say that. The Amar La Baila, if her husband did say, "See my basically, whatever income you earn, you use it for your own mazonos. Amai chayav? Why is he chayav? When the seifa de lo Amar La, since the seifa, when talking about a woman, he didn't say Reishanami de lo Amar La lay. When it comes to Eved, also the cases he didn't say it to him. And therefore, what you see that the Rav has the ability to say, "See to ase imi v'eni zancha, work for me and I won't feed you." So the Olam the Amar lay. Really, he did say, "See basically said you can take your own income and feed yourself. And the woman, that's sort of the case where she didn't have enough, right? He also said, "See but she didn't have enough. He has to make up the rest." But the Mishnah continues. If he were to say to her, "See Rasha," he's allowed to say this, the husband. The middle case, the case of the woman, right, must be a case where he didn't say that. Hakika Amar. So this is what the last line means to say. If she has enough, Amar La Rashai. If she has enough to feed herself, he could say, okay. So the Gemara says, Maspeket Maila Meimra. Obviously, if she has enough, of course he could say them. The same maybe he can't say it at all. See, once she goes into Gullus, if she's in her own hometown, so whatever income she makes, she probably makes it in a private office or somewhere where she is able to watch over her sneas and to make sure that she doesn't go about town. When she goes to exile to a different city, she'll have to do anything to earn money. He can't say, he can't say, earn your own money and pay your own way. He can't do that. Kamashma, no, he can do that. That's the chiddush of the end of the Mishnah. Lema Gittin, I say it's a malos tanoim, whether you can say to your Eved, I say mi bein zankar. Shem Galil Omer, Yachal Eved Lomer Larabo B'shnei B'tzoras, and Eved could say to his Rebbe in times of famine, O Parnaseini, O Tzieni L'cheiros, either feed me, or if you don't want to feed me, free me. V'chama Omrim Arshus B'yad Rabo. Chum say he doesn't have to. He can basically say, I'm holding on to you as an Eved, I'm not going to feed you. My lab hakim, if we aren't the argument, the Marsar Yachal, the Rabbanan say he could say this. So Marsar no Yachal, Rishim Lila says you can't. If it's Tisbra, whereas is it possible to say that? Hi all part of saying all the L'cheiros. What is he saying? The Eved could say either give me food or free me. All part of saying Oteli Ma'isi Yadai B'Parnasasi. He can't force himself to be freed. He can say either give me, right? Give me food to eat, or let me the money that I make, let me use it for myself. That's what it should say. He can't, right? The first request he has to make is there's two possible ways. Either you feed me, or if you don't want to feed me, at least the income that I earn, let me use that for my own mazonos. He can't demand to be freed. That's why he's talking about only years of famine. What we're forced to say, what are we talking about over here? The Amar Lo. Say it's a case where he already said to his Eved, whatever income you earn, you use that to feed yourself. Why does it indicate that it's about years of famine? Because there's not a lot of food to go around, his income is going to be less. Shmuel says, in that such a case, either you feed me or free me. I'm not getting enough food. It's a famine, there's not enough crops for me to use my Maisa Yadai and whatever I earn to have food for myself, free me so that other people will share Rachmasim and give me tzedakah. V'Rabban Savri, the Rabbanan hold man derachim abnei chari evenami aruchum merachim. If people are going to give tzedakah to people who are free, they also give tzedakah to people who are avadim, so he's not forced to free him. Tashma. Dama, we still haven't proven one way or the other. Dama Rav hamaktish yidei avdo also evet lovev ochel also voreya. Rav says, if a person says to his evet, you're Yadayim, your hands are hektish. You can say that to your Eved, you own the goof. We'll talk about this more in Iyad Ben Sion. You own part of the body of your Eved. So your Maktish's hands, whatever he uses his hands for, Maisi Yadayim, become hektish. So everything he makes is hektish. So how does the Eved have anything to eat? It's hektish, not to eat from hektish, it's Me'ilah. So Lova Ochel, he borrows money from somebody else. And that money is not hektish, right? And he uses that to pay for his groceries. V'ochel, v'osev pareya. And then he works for this guy that he borrowed money for. We'll see in a second how when his work does not become hektish, the Gemara will explain on Beis how the work does become hektish, that he uses to pay back the loan. Shmamina yachal Rav lomar le'eved asimi be'eni zancha. You see clearly that the Rav could say to his Eved, work for me and I won't feed you. The fact that he has ability to be makdish the hands of his Eved, right? And what doesn't say the Eved can go and say to his Rav, give me food, right? He's forced to go to a third person. So you see he has total control. And you can makdish him and not ask for anything in return. How come I ask? The Gemara says malul mazonos. No, the case is where he's giving him mazonos already, and that's why he's allowed to be makdish his yadayim. Yehaki lamai love top of your base love v'olcha. Why does he need to borrow money? The Gemara says lahadafa, so you can have extra, a little bit extra. No one likes to live but simsum exactly the amount you need. Have a little bit extra. V'leimale hekdesh. Ahasha sagilach below adafa, ahasha nami tiskilacha below adafa. Now, hekdesh, right? We're going to see it's sort of a weird way that hekdesh basically allows him to work for the person he borrowed the money from and pay it off. The Gemara is going to explain that basically they work out a contract where he's earning per minute less than a shava pruta. It's part of the contract. Because only shava pruta is considered money that becomes hekdesh. Less than shava pruta is not money. So each hour is less than a shava pruta, so therefore it can go be paid back to the person he borrowed money from, and it's not hekdesh. But hekdesh could say over here, I don't want this arrangement over here. You're not entitled to adafa. Your basic needs you're entitled to. Hekdesh will accommodate you for that. But say the contract is null and void because you're taking advantage of hekdesh. You never needed hadafa. Now you want to live a luxurious life. And the Gemara says, hekdesh gufa nichale. So the Gemara says, no, hekdesh wants this. The basic English wants this. Right? You're a makdish as yadayim, so you want him to be strong, have a lot of food, in order that he can work better and provide more income for hekdesh. So the Gemara says, Osel Poreya, how does this work? That he works for the person he borrowed money, and he pays off the debt. Kama kadosh lay, as whatever he's earning for his master, it's kadosh to the base of Mikdash. How does he pay off the debt? The Gemara says, they're making a contract that, let's say, for a minute you get less than a shavar pruta, or 10 minutes or an hour you get less than a shavar pruta. So therefore, the denominations are less than a shavar pruta. So therefore, that goes. It's not hekdesh. Hekdesh only applies to a shavar pruta. It has to be worth a certain amount of money. Let's say 10 cents, 10 agorot. So it says, "Hakanami mistaber." This makes sense. I'm a Rav. Rav said a different state. I'm makdish the avdo. Let's say again, he's makdish the adayim of his eved. Also, eved also have ochel. That eved could produce with his hands and eat. Dilo avda man palakle. He has to do that for himself, because if he doesn't work for himself, who's going to feed him? Right? If you'll say that the first case, Rav said two statements, right? One case he says that he has no other option but to borrow money to pay for his groceries. The second statement is that he works for himself. So if you'll say the first statement, where he's giving him mizonos, and therefore he has the ability to makdish his hands, therefore the only option is to borrow money for the hadafa. And the second case is where he's not giving mizonos, therefore the Rav does not have the right to makdish his yadayim, and therefore he should work for himself. And even when he works for himself, does not become hekdesh. If you say the first case is a case where he doesn't give mizonos, and he has the ability to say, even when he's not giving him mizonos, that asimi b'nei zancha, work for me and I'm not going to feed you. The ilo avda man palachle man debai niflachay. So if you say, if you just right, if you're talking about the first case is he's not giving him mizonos, and again, he has the right to say this. So what does the second statement mean? That if he doesn't work for himself, no one's going to work for him. Even if he works for himself, it's hekdesh. He can't work for himself. You see from Rav, at least Rav's opinion, that you can't say that. You can't say, if you're not giving him mizonos, you can't say, work for me if I'm not giving him mizonos. Tashma. That's Rav's opinion. Let's see if anyone else has a different opinion. Let's say you cut off the hand of an Eved Knayni Shel Chaveiro. No saying shift over if also. normally you have to give 5 things. The Gemara talks here about 2 of those things. Shifto over refuaso l'rabo. The sheves and the refuah go to the refuah is the medical bills. That gets paid to the master. And the shifto is basically the time he's not able to work now until he gets his hand fixed or he finds a new job. The time that he's batel, he's not working, that money goes to his rab, to the master. Also, Eved nizom in tzedakah. And Eved, he gets his parnasa in the meantime from tzedakah. Shmami na yachal rav lomer le'Eved asmi ve'eni zancha. The fact that you see that he's basically, you can tell the Eved, I'm taking your money that you're owed for me, and you go ahead and go to the tzedakah, so you see that you can say that. No, even in this case, Rabbi Yochanan is talking in a case where he's already giving him mazonos. He's giving food to his Eved. So why does Rabbi Yochanan say that he goes from tzedakah? He doesn't need tzedakah. He's getting food from his master. The Gemara is la'adafa. He's going to tzedakah to get money for his extra needs. No one likes to live b'tzimtzum. No one live exact. You want to have extra, luxurious things. Where it says, if that's what is true, it's talking about the extra money, why does it say nizon min tzedakah? Nizon is mazonos, your basic necessities. Misparnes, parnasa. We talk about making a parnasa. Parnasa indicates that you're gonna be able to buy luxurious things. That's what parnasa means. Right? When we say one has to earn a parnasa, it's not just the bare minimum. It's that you should have a good, luxurious lifestyle. So it's the wrong word over here. You must see, according to Rabbi Yochanan, that it must be that according to Rabbi Yochanan, you have the ability to shut the Eved out and say, I'm working for you, you work for me, I'm not going to feed you. And that's why he's entitled to take the shift over for us, so to take these medical bills and the Dmei Batala, the time that he wasn't working. And the Eved has to get his food from the tzedakah. So the Gemara first analyzes what Rabbi Yochanan says. Rabbi Yochanan says, no, shifto refuaso l'rabo. Shifto pshita. Shifto, it makes sense, it goes to the rab. Refuaso is tzrichle. The chedesh is the refuah. Refuasa didehi. The bayatzuye. All right, really, the refuah should go to the Eved. I mean, who's the one that's sick? Who's the one that's missing an arm now? He has to go heal his arm. Go to the doctor. I don't know what you do when you cut off someone's hand. You get a prosthetic arm or something like that. He's the one that needs to heal himself or take away the pain. They said a normal doctor would take 5 days to heal you. 5 days to heal you. You have to give medicine for 5 days. And this doctor was able to concoct a medication that would heal him in 3 days. He was healed in 3 days. So therefore, basically, the medical expenses for 2 days are extra. Who does that go to? You might say that since doing a shortened medical procedure of only 3 days is more painful to the Eved, so therefore the extra 2 days that he was supposed to get treatment, he doesn't need it anymore. That payment should go to the Eved. Kamashmla. No, the chiddush is that nonetheless it goes to the Rav, it goes to the Adon, the master. We're going to stop over here. So it comes out with a machlokes in Rav and Rabbi Yochanan, machlokes Amoraim. Do we say that Rav can say to his Eved, a master can say to his Eved, Knaini, Asi mi b'nei zancha, work for me, I'm not going to feed you. Which is definitely by a woman, by a wife, you can't say that. It happens when we paskin Rabbi Yochanan, when we paskin, Asi mi b'nei zancha, you're allowed to say that. So I'm going to talk today in Iyad Ben Sion, what exactly does this mean? What is the basis of this machlokes, Rav and Rabbi Yochanan, and how do we apply it when it comes to an Isha, your wife, Iyad Ben Sion, coming up next.